Well, it's it's me, it's Johnny, coming at you with just more goofy shit I've found on the internet. And as we can see, I'm looking at a little bit of Twitter and some drama. I know, Twitter drama, spooky. So who's it about this time? Oh, it's a pair of women. I know, right? Women in drama. Am I right, fellas? But in all seriousness, this is a little bit of a messed up situation between two VTubers, Bow the Whale and Sinder. So, what exactly has gone on? As you can see here, we have Nanolis, one of the people that has worked with both in the past, and well, this guy had released the notorious Google Doc. So, Um, generally speaking, overall, you can read it yourself, but overall, as we can see here, it says there was slander, Cinder and her manager, and we'll talk about the manager later, because, oh boy, there's a whole story with the manager that is pretty funny. So, as said here, they started spreading rumors and speaking ill of people behind their back to this guy of Nanolis, who has been doing work for Redacted, which is the manager, to my knowledge. Red, for people use his name for short as Red or whatever. So, they were talking about lots of crap, lots of BS about people behind their backs, how they're not treating people, and essentially pushing Nanolis, this fellow over here, who's posts the Google Doc, that he doesn't want them to work with anyone else. Essentially, try and make him into like an exclusive partner with them. Very, very shady stuff. Very not so nice things. Like essentially, like blacklist people, and essentially working for for essentially making it to where Nanolis, the guy in question, to not work for anyone else but her, or give her priority, give Cinder priority instead of everyone else. Now that's some pretty fucked up shit, because there should be some level of fairness. Look, I get it. You might want to make it on top, but man, it gets pretty nasty from seeing all this stuff here, essentially pushing, manipulating Nanolis, this fellow over here, into just working for them exclusively. Which, okay, fair enough. And I'm not trying to say too much because it's very early on, and I don't want to like be too uncharitable to Cinder and Red, as he would like to be called, Redacted. I wouldn't want to be too uncharitable, because a lot of people on Twitter like to be very uncharitable on the accused. So I'll try and be charitable. You could read it yourself and make your own conclusion. But, you know, they, as he said, they consistently tried to reassure me that despite their best efforts, they keep trying to bring up drama as in reasons for me to go exclusive and only working for Cinder. Only working for them. Okay? This right here. So, obviously, trying to make it to where, which, again, that's something I don't personally find to be fundamentally evil or wrong. It just depends on how you go about that. And if, there's like a genuine desire to like make him like exclusive, well, offer the compensation that suits that desire. I'm not fundamentally against that, but as the methods here say, that, the it goes into the more into manipulation. Like, as here, the idea that they need to stay informed and gauge the competition is an extremely upsetting and toxic thing to me. So they're making this guy feel uncomfortable, very weirded out by this stuff. You know, And he doesn't like feel too comfortable because this guy has also worked with other people and they're talking behind their back. Like they implied that Shy Lily, another VTuber, won't go into too much for that, but implying that they're bad people. Like these people aren't that good for you. That they're nasty. That they're not not good. Okay, there's the implication there. Getting yeah, I think Nanolis is probably the most neutral party out of this because Nanolis isn't even interested in the drama that they're trying to strum up by talking behind these people's back. Okay, because they're trying to like push them, like say, oh, these people don't treat their people right or they don't do that right, which this guy says in the Google Doc right here. And obviously he said he pushed back. He was clearly uncomfortable getting put in the drama because they're all bringing up baseless claims about the actions and behaviors of other people that this person worked with to try and like essentially toxically manipulate them into believing that they're the correct choice to work with for stuff, for content creation and other stuff. Which, yeah, that's not good. You shouldn't do that. And this one that a lot of people have been memeing. Another example of going after other clients of mine from before, claiming that they have more clients alongside them that makes my work less special, with the reassurance that it's just business, manipulating me into believing that working for her is special for multiple reasons, and that I risk losing that special something, as if a client I prefer to work with others, no acknowledgement of my reasoning and need of working with other clients due to the nature of my work and solely focus on their issues. So they're trying to essentially like push this guy and limit this guy, since I'm assuming that he's some sort of artist is what I'm getting from here, and essentially like making him go exclusive. But again, due to the nature of like a commissioned artist, like you need to have several clients. Like that's not a very charitable thing to do in my opinion, to like try and push this guy to go exclusively for you and like only focus on you as a client, which again, it's just not a sustainable model. Not a sustainable model. Now, I don't know what the compensation was, if they were going to offer like extra compensation or make something of an equivalent to like essentially losing your clients and just replacing it with solely them. Again, I don't think it's entirely amoral. It's not entirely amoral or shitty or evil to want to have someone exclusive. You just need to provide that compensation. But like the talking behind other people's back and all that, especially with people that you worked with before, if I were an analyst, yeah, I would be pretty uncomfortable in wanting to work with these people because like just on a purely business perspective, how can you work with people who talk behind other people's back with just bad intentions and just outright like slandering them? It's not That's not really someone you want to work with. And what Cinder and her manager redacted could have done better was just solely focus on it's like, hey, I really like your work. I want you to be my exclusive guy only for whatever type of work that they do. Okay? And try and make a deal and say, hey, I'm willing to give you this amount of money or pay you this amount of compensation just if you just only do me. Only do me and my work and only me. Like, they could have done that better, but they obviously didn't because fucking manipulating the fuck out of this dude. It's simply business. Normalizing their behavior, once again, by saying it's simply business to sabotage other VTubers' careers and not work with them and focus on Cinder instead. So again, the guy states it again that essentially he was being pushed to just exclusively work for them and try and sabotage other people's work. And what's even more fucked, essentially, see if I can find it. They're essentially, it might not be on this Google Doc, on a different Google Doc, but essentially they're trying to push this guy to cancel other people's work, like this guy was already doing, which is just not. That's not good practice. That's just very bad, very bad. It's not good. Fucking, that's just very, very bad. And Cinder is like a very top guy. like top lady or whatever. Like she's like high up there. She has like a shit ton of subscribers, a lot of followers, a lot of viewers on Twitch. Like I don't see the need to like try and fuck people over, especially when you're high up there. Like I don't see the need from that. Though I can also see the incentive as to why people feel the need to want to compete for audiences and try and fuck each other over as a streamer. That's why I'm like more of a video guy, because videos, you don't have that same incentive because you're not struggling and competing for airtime. You're not competing for airtime, because what happens if two of your favorite streamers are streaming at the same time? Yeah, there's an incentive to want to fuck over the other person because you're competing for that airtime. Compared to videos, well, it's a video. You can watch it anytime. You can watch both people at the same time if you really wanted to. Like, that's why I'm like more into the video stuff. Like, you want to like push into videos and stuff. So that's just the one dude, the artist in question, like who's like getting pushed. You also have Bao, Bao the whale, another VTuber. You know, very goofy, very funny person. I watch her a couple of times, but then you have this on her. So this is just Bao's perspective, which is just someone she's collaborated with Sinder and with Red, the manager. Which, oh, the manager again. We'll get there with the manager, but yeah, they've worked together, they've done stuff, and Nanolis was the illustrator and artist for her model design as a VTuber character for her like model. So essentially, here's more context as to what they were saying about Bao in particular. From what I see, Nanolis asked Redacted on why he's encouraging her not to finish her model. Here we go. Here we go. What I said before. They were actively trying to push Nanolis to fucking cancel her model, to like not finish the work for Bao's model for her VTuber character, which is really fucked because she paid for that, and they're trying to essentially try and push Nanolis to cancel on her for the commission. That's really fucked. That's a really nasty way to really go about that. Not good. Not good. This is not what friends do. Friends do not sabotage each other's other friends for business opportunities. And for me personally, I don't even see the business opportunity. And what's the business opportunity for like sabotaging your other, like your friend and their model? Like what's the opportunity? What, you have more time with like your model? Because the guy still has to produce that model or your model. Like that takes time. You know? It's very nasty, not good. You know, yeah, here we go. More screenshots of them urging Nanolis to cancel the live 2D commission. Now, point of contention. Obviously, none of these screenshots show Sinder in particularly. Sinder as in herself, only her manager. So I'll be somewhat charitable and to say that it's only the manager. There's not really, you don't have a screenshot of Cinder directly saying this stuff. But once you learn about who the manager is, it starts to get really questionable. Well, even if she didn't say this stuff like herself and only the manager, did these DMs, it's very questionable to say at the very least that yeah, no, she would have totally known. She would have totally known. If not, then Cinder has a lot of explaining to do. She needs to provide a lot of context and explanation as to why she didn't know this, didn't have any information on this. So, um, this is just more evidence of them pushing to not do more work. This is just all just images and screenshots of Cinder's manager essentially just pushing Nanolis and other people to not finish the work, to not finish the work for Bao's commissioned work for like art, animation, stuff like that. That's really bad. Not looking good. And if you want to read it all, you can go on Twitter and read it, you know. Then finally, oh my, oh my, it's really really goofy. I'll have to say, it's just business. I like this. It's pretty funny. It's just business. It's just business fucking over people. Am I right, fellas? And for anyone's wondering, what was Shondo's prophecy? So about the manager, now I don't have any direct evidence, and it's a lot of rumor and alleged. So I'll have to preface alleged, but I mean you have a pretty good case. So who's this dude? So who's the fucking dude essentially pushing the manager, fucking Cinder's manager, as to who the fuck is this guy? Funnily enough, this guy is alleged to be her boyfriend, be Cinder's boyfriend. So yeah, the boyfriend of 4 years, I believe. Now, I don't have any evidence, direct evidence, so it's all speculative. But again, uh, I would say, I mean, it kind of makes a lot of sense. I mean, what type of indie VTuber has a manager? Like, pays for a manager? Nah, bro. They fucking. They fucking. An indie VTuber does not need a manager. They don't work for a company. They don't have a company. You kidding me? They fucking, bro. Sorry, your anime waifu's getting fucked. So yeah, you have that. Um, which explains a lot. As to why she even has a manager. Why would you even need a manager as an indie VTuber? You don't even work for a company. So you have that, and obviously Cinder's reaction to this is essentially just fucking this. She's just going to pin it all on the manager, which fair enough. I can't say anything because again, I don't have all the information, and this is all hearsay on the boyfriend part of the manager. That's hearsay, so I cannot give you guaranteed evidence. That's something that you're just gonna have to decide on your own. But yeah, you got that. You got that. And also, I found this as well. Tashi is the alternate account to Cinder, to who she is. Apparently, um, you know, this is just fucking before her debut as a VTuber, and she had her own ASMR channel. I remember, yeah, ASMR RP channel, whatever. Um, Apparently this dude had contact with Cinder before Cinder was Cinder. Um, and the context with this Google Doc is that this guy alleges that she was cheating, like emotionally cheating. Like I don't know if they had like sex. From my knowledge, from reading this, they only ever had text, phone sex or whatever. But yeah, um, pretty fucked. That's pretty fucked. if this is like legit. I don't know how legit this is, but it looks pretty legit to me. Uh, she's just responsible as redacted. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys get interested in a little bit of that. It's pretty interesting stuff. I might give you another update later on, but yeah, that's that. Like and subscribe, fellas.